All right, here we
Hello,
are.
hello.
Bob's been waiting.
Hey, Bob.
Hello, Bob.
We are
So,
Danless tonight.
yeah, we're Danless and we are now Codaless. We were hoping Coda would join us tonight, but something came up, so she can't be here. But yeah, 2 blinds.
Yeah, we got 2 of the 3. That counts for something.
It definitely counts for something. We're here. We're gonna have a show, and boy, are we gonna have a good show that we didn't expect tonight?
What?
Honestly.
What a Sunday! None of us were entering this, or none of us were watching that thinking it was going to be a good game.
No, we were definitely not. We matter of fact, we all had the Vikings losing by double digits.
Wait a second. I think, didn't I have it 27-24?
Your score was actually 31-17.
Oh, shoot. What did I have us? There was one score that was 27-24. Well, it must have been the game before. Oh,
Yeah,
it must have been the Chargers.
Yeah, we all had them getting blown out, but they didn't get blown out.
They didn't.
They showed up and showed out.
They did so well. Okay, I was a little aggressive on Sunday and literally screaming and hollering. In fact, Dan told me multiple times, "You're too loud." And I'm like, at this point, I don't care.
But it was good to have to be loud, honestly.
It was a good excuse to be a happy loud.
Yeah, because listen, the Chargers game, there was nothing to be loud about.
Nothing. It was absolutely miserable.
It was totally depressing, and we hated it. But not Sunday. Not Sunday.
Okay. After that first drive, I was a little worried.
Same.
Because they scored so easily. And I was like, oh no, here we go. And then we scored. And I was like, oh, okay. And then we held them. And I was like, what's going on here?
We're going to fight.
Yeah.
We came to play.
We showed up.
It's fun now. It wasn't fun watching things start to slip away, but it's fun that they did what they did to win it.
I don't even necessarily think things were slipping away because, I mean, yes, they scored a touchdown. And yes, you should be able to overcome an offensive pass interference. But, like, that touchdown should have been called back.
Oh, blatant. It was a blatant OPI.
And if the touchdown would have been called back, I just don't feel like it would have had that feeling of, oh no.
Right.
Here it goes again.
Absolutely. They would have been pushed back to midfield because of the pass interference. And hopefully we wouldn't have somebody getting beat deep again. More time off the clock. You know, it would have totally changed the flow of the game.
Yeah. And also that last defensive stand, like, oh my God. They did not give up.
Nope.
And yes, Grenard jumped off sides, but immediately, and you could tell in his reaction that immediately he was like, "Oh, my bad, we're back in this." It wasn't like, "Oh no," it was a "My bad, we're back in it." Like, no big deal. On to the next thing. Like, immediately. And you can tell sometimes when there are like offside penalties and the player is like, oh, that it like affects the rest of the defense. I think his reaction to it helped the defense hold them to 3 points.
Yep. They got back at it. Like you said, they got right back at it.
Wait, no, they didn't even get 3 points in that defense because we blocked the field goal.
That's right. We're going to talk about that a little bit later, by the way.
That's fair.
So Dan's not here to be totally offensive, so I'm going to give it my best shot. I don't know how offensive I can be, but I'll try.
I think the most offensive thing you can say would be the offense was great and amazing, but like JJ you can tell he's still a rookie.
Mm-hmm.
You can tell there's still things he needs to work on.
Yep.
You can tell that he's not there yet, but it's not because it's like, oh, he doesn't know how to throw a ball. He doesn't know how to do whatever. Everything is like fixable.
Yeah. Well, listen, they're giving him the ability to audible at the line, and he made a great audible early in the game.
Yeah.
They gave him a game plan that he could execute.
Yeah.
And that was important. You know, the touchdown pass to Jefferson was pretty. The one hawk was gritty.
Yeah.
He went outside, he rolled outside, he kept the play alive, found him in one of those dead spots in the center of the end zone, which is great.
Mm-hmm.
And his touchdown was gritty, as in he got to do one. You know, again, quick decision. Nobody's open. Hey, there's a lot of green in front of me. I'm taking off.
Yeah.
And I would have been happy just to get the first down, and he just snuck it into the corner of the end zone. That was big.
Yeah.
So his numbers weren't flashy.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, I looked at them compared to the prior week numbers for you see he's not even there anymore because
Wentz.
But Carson, yeah, it's terrible, right? I forget Carson. But they looked very similar to what Wentz put up the prior week. It was just a different vibe.
Way different vibe.
And the Vikings ran the ball 29 times in this game.
Man, Aaron Jones was insane.
Yeah, I don't know when the injury report comes out how it's going to look, but
he sprained his shoulder, and they said that he should be good for Sunday.
Okay. Because he was blowing things up. 78 yards on only 9 carries. I mean, that's ridiculous. Yeah. And he was running with authority.
Yeah. He was like running to prove something.
Yep. And even the little swing pass that JJ hit him with, caught it in stride, and he went. He just took off. Really good game from our backs. Nice game from McCarthy. Not a lot in terms of, no big receiving numbers in this game, but everybody got involved. And Naylor, I will say he made up for the interception because honestly, I know it wasn't a great throw, but he really should have had enough arm strength to pull that ball away and at least get the dual possession on it. He didn't.
And I don't necessarily think like arm strength to pull it away, but I think he sort of gave up on the ball and then realized that it was a jump ball, or not a jump ball, but realized that, oh, wait, I can still go after this. And I think if he would have committed to catching the ball and pulling the ball away from the beginning, it would have been ruled in his favor. But because he kind of gave up on it and then went back into it, I think they all saw it.
It really, and it was the right call. A lot of people said, "Oh, it's going to go against the Vikings." Honestly, it should have. It really should have gone. It was the right call. He did not have possession.
I think that it should have been an incomplete pass because, like, he had the balls here, but like the ball touched the ground, and while it didn't move, his whole body was on top of it. I don't know. I thought it should have been an incomplete pass, but that's just me.
Well, they hate us, so
they do.
They hate us with how they schedule us too, and that's another thing. This week they have to play a team that's coming off of a full bye.
So what I was listening to Locked On Vikings, and they were saying that this year the Vikings have 4 big games where the rest is not in their favor.
Right.
And so there's only 2 games where the rest is in their favor. And one of those was over the pond. So, that doesn't really count.
Nope. Even Sunday, the Vikings came off a mini bye. The Lions came off of a full one.
Right. So frustrating.
Boggles the mind. All right. Well, we've talked enough offense. I think it's time for Cora to get a little defensive now.
I want to say one more thing about the offense.
Okay.
So I feel like, and I said this in previous games with JJ. I don't think he's as bad as, I mean, he's a rookie, but there are so many opportunities, and this game had fewer of those opportunities, and I think that's because that's why we succeeded, where our star players drop the ball. Like Justin Jefferson had a catch that he normally makes. Addison had a catch he normally makes, and TJ Hawkinson just couldn't hold on to any of the balls in the beginning of the season. And so I think the reason why we actually succeeded today, Sunday, was because JJ was getting the balls and doing the same thing as he did before, but everyone else was catching it and doing what they're supposed to be doing. So I don't like when everyone's like, oh my gosh, JJ's the worst, blah, blah, blah. Like, it was frustrating when we would lose, but like at the same time, people were dropping passes that they don't normally drop. I mean, even Hawkinson had a pass this last game that was right at his chest and he dropped it.
Yep.
So like, I don't think that a lot of this turmoil around JJ is JJ's fault. I think it's a lot of unexpected drops. And yes, like getting out of the huddle and the wrong cue for Mason at the end of the game when he probably could have had like a 40-yard run because it was wide open. Those things, yes. But I don't think that he is as miserable as the rest of the fan base make him out, because those games that he was in, Justin Jefferson had a drop ball. Jordan Addison had a drop ball, and TJ Hawkinson couldn't catch anything to save his life. So I think the reason we succeeded this time is because all of our wide receivers and tight end were actually playing like they should be playing and catching balls like they should be catching. And he's putting them in spots where only they can get to, which it was that touchdown to Justin Jefferson.
Yep. It's perfect.
Oh my God.
Perfect.
All right. So I am going to do a little player spotlight.
Cool.
And more than likely it's going to be our winner of our X Factor winner. More than likely. Mr. Levi Drake Rodriguez. He started out his defensive career in college at a NCAA non-big school. And so he made his way up. Sorry, I cannot talk to save my life. He was a first team All Sooner Athletic Conference, SAC. At the end of the year, he had 44 tackles, 10 tackles for loss, 5 sacks, and a forced fumble. And he played only 7 games, or 10 games with 7 starts. After the COVID season, he decided in 2022, he kind of like sat down and was like, okay, what they were saying was that he sat down in the park with his Bible and he needed a sign that was like, should I go somewhere that'll get me seen? And he's like, I am not leaving until I get a sign. And he heard go. And so that's why he went to Texas A&M. And at Texas A&M, not only did he, play super well and, impress the heck out of his coaches just with his playing, but he also was like, had an insane work ethic. He would be at practice fields before the coaches would get there and he'd already be sweating. He would constantly be saying like, what's next? What do I need to do? Where can I get in? How do I do this? How do I do that? What are we doing? And constantly just trying to get better, which, I mean, if you're going to impress your college coaches, that's pretty awesome. He was constantly trying to get size on him, and he just worked his butt off at Texas A&M. He finished with a total of where'd it go? 50 total games, 47 as a starter, and he had 221 tackles, 43 and a half tackles for loss, and 22 sacks, along with 3 forced fumbles in his entire college career. That is insane.
It is.
Absolutely insane. And through the draft process, all of his coaches had nothing but wonderful things to say about him. Because of his work ethic, he was constantly working on drills with his hands and drills with his feet. And he would be doing that before practice and then continue his normal practice after. I mean, some of the coaches thought that he slept at the school. Like, that's how crazy this kid was. So he was selected in the 7th round, and he became the first person from his high school to be chosen in a draft, and the first person at Texas A&M since 2000. His first game that he played, like his first debut, was against the Colts. That insane comeback game.
Yeah.
In week 9. And his first defensive snaps of his career were against Seattle, and he recorded 1 tackle and a pass deflection. And you said last week that you wanted him that he was going to be your X Factor. What's up?
Hi.
Let's go.
Welcome, king of the party.
Hi, guys.
I sent it on the off chance that if she could make it, that she could jump on. And I'm so glad you did.
Me too. Hi, everybody. Hello from Minnesota for once. Oh my gosh.
You're in the motherland, Coda.
I am. It's so nice to be back. I was welcomed back with like chilly weather, which is so exciting, and being recognized at the airport, which was insane. So
You were? That's awesome.
yeah, for my segment on the One Bar and Luppigus show, it was kind of insane and like really surreal, honestly.
That's awesome.
That's great.
That's
Well,
super
we're
awesome.
so glad you could fill in for Dan tonight.
Yeah, I can't stay for too long, unfortunately, but you've got me while you have me, so
Perfect.
Excellent.
Well, I'm pretty much done talking about Levi Drake Rodriguez.
as you
He's
said.
awesome. He did super great. And John, what an excellent pick. What an excellent pick. And I'm happy to have him on our team.
Me too. Well, Cody, you're in time to pick the 3 stars of the game.
Oh man. Okay. Well, first of all, JJ McCarthy had a fantastic game. Definitely, one of my biggest issues is how quickly people want players to come back from injury. I think a lot of times people forget that these are actual real life human beings that play this sport.
Yep.
I never was sold on the soft benching. I think that's BS. And I think the time that he sat watching, honest to God, everything that Carson Wentz was doing, both right and wrong, did him a lot of good. Especially because, it's one thing to sit behind someone an entire year knowing that you're not going to come in. It's another thing I've found to sit behind someone knowing that you're going to be called up at any moment. And so I think just sitting and watching and studying Carson Wentz did him a lot of good. And I think it really showed. I think he was a lot calmer in the pocket. Now, whether it was because the pocket was healthy or because he saw what Carson Wentz was doing wrong, you could go either angle there. I think that he seemed to have a really good presence as to what was happening in the game. I mean, at one point, he even calls out the fact that they are going to blitz. And just his ability to avoid and know what was happening. I mean, we could go into the details about the stats all the live long day. He put up, in my opinion, an impressive welcome back stat. Yeah, it was a lot of people would consider it a midline, but for the kid coming back after an injury, I'm pretty impressed with what he was able to do. But I think for me, the biggest reason why he's one of my 3 stars was because of just his game awareness. He knew that when Aiden Hutchinson kicked him, it was going to be a flag. He knew that. He understand that rule. And so for me, that absolutely has to be one of the stars of the week was purely just JJ McCarthy for his intelligence and how much he's learned behind Carson Wentz. I mean, Isaiah Rodgers blocking that, love it when he does that. Insanely amazing. I don't feel like I have to go into more detail there. There is one individual, and I need to pull up this text from my little brother in our family group chat purely to say my last one because I think it is absolutely hysterical and it needs to be said out on the internet and not just saved in our family group chat. So let me see if I can find it really, really fast here for you guys. Sunday. Wow, I text my family a lot during the week. I think that's a good sign. My little brother says, my son will be named Eric Wilson, and then our last name.
Yes.
I have to agree. Eric Wilson went off, and I think that's the beauty of this defense. We've seen it before. We'll see it again. These guys that we pick up randomly in the offseason and trades, whatever, just they have these little moments to shine, and it's just truly fantastic. My mom and I were talking in the car when we were on our way to pick up my dad from work today in downtown Minneapolis. She goes, is there anything wrong with the Detroit defense? And I said, they have injuries, but not as crazy as last year. I just genuinely think that our defense played better. I think that, one of the things I've been asking for from both Kevin O'Connell and specifically Brian Flores is just getting back to brass tacks, getting back to basics. And I think this game showed that they can still do that with having the flash of a Brian Flores defense. And I think Eric Wilson and what he was able to accomplish in the game is the reason why this defense will continue to work as well as it can, as long as we continue just football basics. So Eric Wilson, Isaiah Rodgers, and JJ McCarthy are my 3 stars.
All right. Well, we normally just pick one each, but because you're special, we let you have 3. And so, okay. What do we got, Cora?
I'm going to go a little off normal, and I'm not going to say that he was or whatever, break handle.
Yeah.
Because he is a backup center.
Yeah.
And he was holding his own and not the worst player on the O-line. Honestly, Fries has been probably one of the most inconsistent of that game. And he has been awesome. I mean, this is the first game he's played with JJ. He was awesome. He's my sneaky one. But of course, Eric Wilson. I absolutely love any Zim defense people we bring back or keep.
He will always have a spot in your heart.
Yes. Yes. And he's wearing 55. And I loved Anthony Barr. So.
Oh, yeah.
I like it. I have a couple of names. Actually, I actually have 4 names I had, and 3 of them were not mentioned. So I might as well mention them since we've just thrown the book out the window tonight. Javon Hargrave.
Yep.
Yeah.
He did really well.
8 tackles, 2 solos, and a sack. Blake Cashman.
Yes.
14 tackles.
God, he was everywhere.
6 solo and 1 tackle for loss. That's the Blake Cashman we had last year.
Mm-hmm.
All
That's
over the field.
Missing.
Yep. Involved in everything. Wonderful. But I have to give some more special team props. And no, it's not going to be who you think it is.
Okay.
5 returns, 164 return yards. Miles Price.
Should have been a touchdown.
Yep.
Should have been.
It had TD, but that was what we saw in preseason. Take the ball north-south. North-south. None of this trying to get to the edge. No. Take it out the middle. Look for the holes. Look for the blocks. Get the yards. He was fantastic on Sunday.
He was.
Big. Very important in the win. Could not have asked him to do more. I would love to see him continue to play that way in the return game. Not like we've seen him play against the Falcons when he's kind of like dancing around a little bit, open for a hold open. No. North-south, that's what we need from you. So those are my 3 guys for this week's players of the game.
Perfect.
Now we get some X factors. Let's talk about our choices from last week. Cody, you get to pick for Dan this week, by the way.
Okay.
So last week, Dan took AVG. And
Okay.
Ginks has struggled this year, but he actually had a better game.
Yeah, he wasn't bad.
3
He
tackles.
did get
right?
some pretty bad, like, illegal blocks from the side or blindside blocks.
Right. But not a bad game. Now, Cora, you went with a standby, and we said to go for it, and you took Jets, and he got the first touchdown. But honestly, it was a very peaceful game for him. 6 catches, 47 yards.
And I did make the caveat that he needed to do, not necessarily that he had to perform exceptionally, but that he had to like do more than be a wide receiver, like a standard wide receiver. And he wasn't.
But that's okay.
Yeah. I mean, he still did well. It's Justin Jefferson, man.
And then I am going to
the winner.
I'm just going to eat this one up because I went off the beaten path this week. And I said, you know what? Give me Levi Drake Rodriguez to do something special. And I thought, like I said, he's going to get a strip sack, something special. And when I saw that kick get blocked and I saw 5-0 in the middle of it all, getting his hand on it, I was like, oh, yeah.
That's my X factor.
And then when they came out with the awards for the week and he was the special teams player of the week in the NFL, mic drop.
Yep.
I said that was what I wanted. And on defense, I mean, he had a sack and a tackle for loss too. So he did what you would expect out of an X factor. Somebody you just hope you get something out of him. It was a fantastic, very lucky week for me because I get this like once a year. Last year I got it in the first week.
John, you're still winning.
I have 4.
How many do I have?
1.
How many
Dan
does
has
Dan
1.
have? 0?
1. No, he has 1.
Oh.
He got 1. I think he got one in one of those bad weeks when everybody was bad, but his person was not as bad.
Yeah, that's fair.
So it's time to pick this week. Now I get to go first because I won.
And yep.
That's how it goes.
We didn't even need to ask who won. It just, John won.
You just knew.
Well, we were honestly, it was probably going to be Jefferson until the blocked field goal.
Well, anyone whose X Factor wins the player of the week is just an automatic.
Yeah.
I don't know if any of our X Factors have won player of the week. Maybe like one of those Van Ginkel picks that we picked last year, but like I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either. We'd have to go and look up and see who we took last year.
Yeah.
But I get to go first. I'm going to say, coming off of his big game this week, I'm going to go stick with Blake Cashman.
Okay.
I think, especially because of who we're playing this week.
Fair.
They've got to contain Lamar, and I think that's our best bet for containing Lamar is Blake Cashman. So I'm taking Blake this week. I need him to be the same player he just was last week.
Okay.
Cora, you get to go next because Dan's not here.
Oh, wait.
Hello.
Yeah.
Dan
just got here.
Dan shows up. Wow.
We
went from 2 to 4.
In the nick of time.
That's good because I don't think Dan is going to like who I was going to pick for.
Yeah, but you get to pick one anyway.
Yeah, you can pick one anyways.
You would probably be better than my own pick.
Dan's won one, and that was a pity win because everyone was really bad. No,
it kind of was a pity.
But I think mine was also a pity win.
I'll take a pity win.
So I think Dan, you probably get to go next because you were the last one to win between you and Cora, and you're tied with 1 each.
We're killing it. Who'd you pick?
Cashman.
Who'd Cora pick?
No one yet.
I've not picked yet.
Oh, she's a guest.
No. Gonna do me last. I'm gonna make people mad with mine.
Okay. So I'm gonna go with Naylor. because I feel like him and JJ were just off a hair this last game. And I feel like if they can get that dialed in, then Naylor had opportunities galore to catch and run for days. And they were just a hair off, either just behind him or a little too high or a little too far in front. And I feel like if they get those connections rolling this next week, that's going to be a really good day for Naylor.
Okay. And he did make the big catch at the end, and that was a
Right.
really nice grab because it wasn't exactly an easy pitch and catch.
That was
Yeah.
so exciting.
That was, yeah. So I feel like he's right there to be in like a true X Factor.
Well, Naylor has become one of our regular X Factor choices.
Yeah.
Every couple of weeks, somebody picks him, and
He's got to have some breakout game where it's like, yes.
Well, I think we took him last year. Somebody took him, and he actually did have the game good enough to win.
That was probably my one win last year.
It may have been Dan's one win last year. All right, Cora, who do you got?
I'm gonna go Aaron Jones.
That's a good one.
I was a little hesitant to go because he was injured at the end of the game.
Yeah.
But I feel like if he would have played the whole game, it would have been insane.
He would have had 100 yards, I think.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go with him because I think he'll have a whole game.
I
like
it. I think it's a gamble. I think it's a gamble because of the injury, and I almost took him, but I was afraid of that shoulder.
And it's the Ravens, so we'll see.
And it's the Ravens. Coda, our very special guest X Factor picker.
So, the last time I went to a game this season, which was Chargers Vikings, yes, it was a loss. Knock on wood that this Sundays is not a loss. This individual had an interception, and I called it about a week early. Now, everyone on Twitter is telling me that he is declining this season, that he's not having a good season. I would happily love to disagree with that, purely because if we look at ESPN, if we look at PFF, as a safety, he's ranked 19th in solo tackles. He is ranked 12th in stops, 8th in sacks, 5th in interceptions, and 4th in receptions allowed. You cannot sit here and tell me that Joshua Metellus is declining this year. He is genuinely secretly having one of the best seasons of a safety in the NFL right now, and people aren't allowing themselves to see it because he isn't making as splashy plays as they would like him to make. And to defend him, half of our defense can't tackle, so someone's got to step up and do it. That's right. My X Factor player for this game is going to be Joshua Metellus because the last time I was in his presence, he got an interception for me. He is going to get another interception this game. Dare I say, it's a pick six.
Ooh, I like it.
Bold
I like
prediction.
it.
Have you met him yet?
I have not. I actually was trying my hardest to get my hands on some sideline passes so I could. I had made him. So for those of you out there who don't know, he did send me 2 signed jerseys because during the Pro Bowl, I have a campaign where I threaten to steal people's shoelaces if they don't vote for him. And I guess he caught not only did he catch wind of that because he liked a couple of them, he shared a couple of them. He remembered me for it because I've done it a couple of years now, and he sent me 2 free signed jerseys. And I don't think he's really been on Twitter this much this season, which is understandable. He's got a lot going on.
Sure.
But he was going to try to get some sideline passes working for us. I think just because he hasn't been online, it didn't work out. But I made him a friendship bracelet out of shoelaces that said Swiss Army knife on it. But I unfortunately left it in California. It fell out of my car as I was leaving for the airport today. I've exhausted kind of all of my avenues. I reached out to a couple people, but it doesn't look like it's gonna happen, unfortunately. And I don't think they're doing a signing event this week. So I'd love to.
I hope you get to meet him because you might be his biggest fan that is not related to him.
Oh, I for sure am happy to take that. I think for me, I would have even taken that title back when Alexander Madison was still on the team too. Just the effort that both men put into mental health is very important to me. as somebody who currently is struggling with a lot of mental health issues myself. And I really like to see someone like Joshua Metellus, who I see a lot of myself in, is readily available, will do whatever it takes for the betterment of the team. I mean, the guy's been playing through a foot injury. He's been on the injury report as limited at practice for I think like 3 weeks now, whether it's his shoulder or his foot. But that man, they gave him the captain patch, and he said that he was going to show up every single game, and he does. Um, I would love to try and score some sideline passes. It's actually not to get like sappy. Me and my parents haven't gone to a game together since I was in high school, which
wow.
was almost 10 years ago now.
Wow.
So it's me, my little brother, my mom, my dad, and my grandy. The 5 of us have never gone to a game together, but my parents, little brother, and I haven't gone to a game together since I was in high school. So I wanted to try and make it special, but unfortunately things just didn't work out. But I'm excited to go. And like I said, get to see Joshua Metellus get another interception while I'm in the building with him. So
we've got to figure out a way to make this happen.
I reached out to him, but like I said, he hasn't been on Twitter. I reached out to someone I knew in the Minnesota Vikings organization, and they said with home games, especially this close to them, it can be a little difficult.
Sure.
But yeah, if anyone knows anyone that can cop up like 4 or 5, I'd really appreciate it. But I understand that it's, where we're at in the week. I've never gotten to sit in the lower bowl before, so that's really exciting for me. I typically sit in the higher levels, so just getting to be a lot closer to the action this time around is really exciting.
The only time I've been to the bank, I sat in both the upper bowl and then the lower bowl. Friends of mine were there, and they texted me from this at halftime. Hey, there's a seat down here that's been hoping the whole game next to us. Why don't you just come downstairs? I said, come on, they're going to stop me, right? Give it a shot. I came down, I sat next to them in the lower bowl. And that was the game where Cousins unleashed the dead arm dance. Nice. And I was in that end zone when he did it.
I didn't know how much I love him. Oh my God.
I was in that end zone when he did it.
I will say the lower bowl is, if you're gonna go to a game,
yeah,
want to sit. We won Josh Metellus's tickets around the Christmas time.
I remember when you did that.
And we got this random guy on Twitter who was like, hey, I have an extra ticket. And he sold us one of his tickets next to him. And it was what, row 12?
Yeah.
Row 12 behind the uprights. It was
insane.
the most insane experience.
Yeah.
And it was against this was a once in a lifetime opportunity. And then on top of it, we got an extra ticket so that Dan could come. And it was like, those tickets were like in the thick of it. And honestly, if you can ever experience it in that area around all those raucous fans, oh my God, it was amazing.
I have a really good friend of mine through TikTok. I'm probably gonna mispronounce her name because I'm really bad with names unless it's like said to me. You might actually know her, Cora. Her name is Shandy.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, Shandy has annual passes, and so part of the game I'm going to be hanging out with her in her seat, just to hang out with her in her annual pass area. But yeah, so my parents actually went to the Colts Vikings greatest comeback in NFL history game, and they sat behind the uprights. They were in the end zone when Adam Thielen scored the touchdown to get them within 1 touchdown.
Nice.
So listen, good things happen when I guess we sit over there.
Well, when I got to go to that game, I had waited my whole life to go to Minnesota. I had never, and I'm old.
My gosh.
I had never been there, and I finally had an opportunity. I figured it out, and I got outside that stadium, and I choked up like I was looking at the Magic Castle or the Cinderella Castle at the Magic Kingdom. I was like, this is where I've always wanted to be. And to get inside and have them actually win that day was even more special. And I may never get there again, but I really hope I do.
There's something very special about US Bank Stadium. I've been to games at the Metrodome. I got to go to one of the games when we were at TCF Bank, back when it was still TCF Bank. And then I still lived here when US Bank Stadium finally became US Bank Stadium, but I didn't get to go to my first game until 2022.
Oh wow.
Bears Vikings game that year, and when it started snowing, I started crying, and I think I tear up every time now. It's they really truly care about their fans, and you can tell.
Mhm.
And you know, with everything that I've got going on, Cora kind of knows a little bit of it. We're in a group chat together. It's very needed. Going to this game is very needed. So I'm very excited to be back home and get to see this game for sure.
Well, since we're reminiscing, segue.
Take us back,
Woohoo!
John.
Take
Take
Bring
us
the
us
Valhalla
back.
back. Let's go to December 13th, 1998, shall we?
Sure. Let's go.
Vikings Ravens. The Vikings were the first team to score this day. 43-yard Gary Anderson field goal with about 10 minutes to play in the first. 3-0 Vikes. On the ensuing kickoff, Corey Harris from the Ravens, 95 yards, untouched to the end zone. 7-3 Raven lead. Later in the first, Anderson hit his second field goal, 31-yarder, and the Vikes cut the lead to 7-6. This was set up when Priest Holmes fumbled. Vikings covered it. On the ensuing kickoff, Patrick Johnson, 97 yards, untouched for the Ravens. 14-6 lead. Interesting fact on this one. Going into this game, Mitch Berger had led the NFL in touchbacks, and his first two kickoffs of this game were taken back to the house.
Oh, shoot.
Wow, that's interesting.
After the Baltimore returned for a touchdown, Baltimore kicked off. David Palmer catches it, finds a couple of blocks, takes it 88 yards to the house.
Let's go.
Vikings go for two, do not make it, and it is a 14-12 lead, and there hasn't been an offensive touchdown yet. 3 kickoff returns in the first quarter. In the second, Anderson hits his third field goal of the game, this one from 45 yards out. Vikings take a 15-14 lead. This was set up when Jimmy Hitchcock recovered a fumble near the end of the first quarter for the Vikes.
Nice.
On the ensuing kickoff, no, they don't return it this time. Corey fumbles. Vikings fall on it, and that leads to a Randall Cunningham to Randy Moss 17-yard touchdown pass. Vikings take a 22-14 lead with 11:36 left in the half. Later on in the quarter, Jim Harbaugh fumbles. Quarterbacking the Ravens, Jim Harbaugh fumbles, and the Vikings fall on it. Anderson makes his fourth field goal of the half, this one from 24 yards out. 5:17 left in the half. It's 25-14. That kick established a new NFL record for consecutive field goals made, previously held by Minnesota Viking kicker Fuad Revis. Second half, the Vikes score first. Gary Anderson hits his fifth field goal. This was 46 yards out. It's 28-14 with 13:50 left in the third. Baltimore fumbled 20 seconds into the half. The Vikings fall on it, setting up to score. Harbaugh throws an interception on their next possession. That led to a Randall Cunningham to Chris Carter 11-yard touchdown pass. Lead goes to 35-14. The touchdown marked Carter's 100th of his career. The Ravens take a long third quarter drive, and at the end of at the 8-yard line, they would turn it over on downs. Vikings would hold. But later on, Harbaugh finds Floyd Turner for his 10th catch of the game, 42-yard touchdown pass. Viking lead is 35-20 in the fourth. They botched the snap or the hold on the extra point, making it 35-20. That one was set up when Cunningham threw up a quail under pressure. It had hang time. It was picked off, setting up the Ravens for the score. Anderson hits field goal number 6, a 20-yard chip shot at the end of an 8+ minute drive. Vikings lead goes to 38-20 with about 3 minutes left in the game. Priest Holmes would score from 2 yards out, and Harbaugh would hit Floyd Turner with a 2-pointer, cutting the lead to 38-28 with 2:06 to play. However, the Vikings would fall on the onside kick and run out the clock. Final score, Vikings 38, Ravens 28. Some stats from this one. Cunningham, 32 of 55, 345 yards, 2 touchdowns, and the 1 interception. Receiving-wise, Matthew Hatchett led the way. 6 catches for 95 yards. Moss had 89 yards on 6 catches in the touchdown, but he had 19 targets in this game and only 6 catches.
Wow.
Carter had 11 catches, 85 yards, and a touchdown on 14 targets. Top running back for the Vikes to stay, Leroy Horde, 26 carries, 68 yards. On defense, Corey Fuller with an interception. Robert Griffith led the team with 6 tackles and 2 forced fumbles. Team had 5 fumble recoveries and an interception for 6 turnovers. Why did I choose this one? That was the first time the Vikings would play the Ravens as the Ravens from the move from Cleveland.
Interesting.
That is this week's Valhalla back.
I'm sort of surprised you didn't pick the one that was like a million scores in the last 2 minutes.
We lost that game.
That's fair.
You know,
That's fair.
We never lose.
There
the
is
Valhalla
We
back.
never lose the Valhallas. You're right.
No, we don't lose Valhalla back.
there's an interesting stat that Jason posted recently that I guess in games that like in years that we play against the Ravens and win, we end up in the NFC Championship. In years that we lose to the Ravens,
We
we
fire our
typically fire our head coach. Now, I don't think we'd fire Kevin O'Connell if we lose. However, I do have to run.
We are so glad you found a few minutes for us tonight.
I'm
Honestly,
Thank
you're
you.
Thanks for
always welcome
coming.
here.
Thanks
If you
for
ever
jumping
want
on,
to show up,
Cora.
you just contact us and you are in.
That
We love
sounds
having you.
good. You guys have a good rest of your night. I will see you all later.
Good night, Coda. She's
She
one of the good
made
ones, guys.
it.
Give her a follow if you don't already.
Please. She's the
Well,
best.
I think we should pick scores for this week. Cora, what do you got?
I'm gonna have us losing just because it's the Ravens. And while I think that the Lions could beat the Ravens, I don't know what happened last week. It was a happy accident. And I don't know. I don't know. I just don't think they'll win this. Oh, I hate
What do you
picking
got?
them to lose. I do I think it's gonna be 21-14. I think it'll be close. I think the defense will make some good plays, but it's the Ravens.
Yep. What do you got, Dan?
I am also having us lose. I think Cora and I were both sitting there and we're taking a knee and we're like, oh my gosh, we just won. How? What? We just won? It was just utter shock. And I don't know. I don't think the Ravens are the same team. I don't know if the Lions could beat the Ravens. I watched their full game this last week, and they look really good.
Yep.
Lamar Jackson's ability to scramble away from tackles is what scares me the most. His
And
ability
we can't
to
tackle.
and we struggle tackling, and he's really good at oiling up and getting out of it. And so I think we lose, and I think we lose 34-24.
Wow.
I'm going to make it a clean sweep.
Okay.
Vikings haven't won 2 games in a row this year. Lamar Jackson is the best quarterback that I think they've faced all year in terms of overall ability.
Yeah.
I think our DC's would need to blitz is going to bite him in the butt. Because what's going to happen if you blitz and you don't catch him, he's coming out the back door. I think Lamar Jackson's going to run for at least 75 yards in this game.
Oof.
Oh yeah.
And if you don't cover the tight end, his go-to is his tight end. No matter who it is, it doesn't have to be Andrews. He throws to all tight ends. Every now and then he'll throw to Flowers, but that's it. It's tight ends all day long. And if you're not covering the tight ends, and that's where our linebackers have to be really good in this game.
Yep.
And if the linebackers aren't picking up Andrews and the other tight ends, it's going to get ugly. Now,
Likely hasn't had a breakout game this year. He did last year.
I picked 31-23 Baltimore, and I think that might be a late touchdown by the Vikes to make it look good.
Garbage time.
Yeah, I think it could be a garbage time touchdown to make it look like a close game. I think it might be at like 30, probably like 31-16 or 31-17, and then the Vikes score a late touchdown, something like that. And it's tough to do that after they came off of a big win against the Lions, but I agree with you both. I don't think the Lions are as good as the Ravens, and the Ravens had a terrible start, but they're getting healthy. Their defense has been much better in the last couple of weeks. So if we can't block them, if we can't keep them from getting to McCarthy, and we can't stop Lamar, it's going to be a long day. The offense's job is to stay in the field as long as possible.
Yeah.
The best defense is to stay in the field.
Yeah. And I mean, yeah, we'll see.
Well, we actually have time for the question this week. Do you have a question this week for Nostradamus?
I do.
Well, let's hear it, Cora. What do you got?
So what if you have one, what is your favorite piece of art?
Oh, that's easy. Because my daughter is an artist.
Oh, there you go.
And when we bought this house, we sent her a picture like, hey, we got our house. She took the picture, and hanging in our living room is her watercolor. No, it's not watercolor. I think it's a pencil sketch, but it's beautiful. It's like something she had just learned in school kind of thing. And she drew the house with the yard and everything.
Oh, I love that.
Now, she's done me a lot of art. Like I have a Kermit watercolor rainbow connection thing that she did when she was 15, and it hangs up in my room. And she did something for me for Christmas, the magic Cinderella castle, and this is all stuff she did before she turned 18. Like she was a kid when she did it. So any art that she does, I love. But the picture of the house is my favorite piece of art.
I like that.
What is your favorite piece of art?
The Vincent van Gogh Starry Night.
Okay.
That is my absolute favorite piece of artwork. Everything about it. I have, the reason I'm looking up here is because I actually have like a poster of it above my computer.
Gotcha.
And my mom gifted us a puzzle of it, which is incredibly hard, and we gave up and did not continue because it was so hard.
I'm sure.
But I love it so much.
Dan, what's your favorite piece of art?
No,
Probably does not.
I do not have a piece of art. Okay.
I don't.
That's cool.
Sorry. I can make things. I guess my favorite piece of art is Cora's desk.
That's fair. That's fair.
That might be one of my favorite pieces of art is Cora's desk.
Beautiful
Yeah.
piece of art.
I mean art. I'm one of those art blind people. It doesn't speak to me. I don't see anything special out of it other than skill. Like I know it takes a lot of skill to do it, and a lot of vision to do it that I do not have. And so I appreciate it for that, but otherwise,
It's not your thing. That's okay. And that's okay. All right. Dan, what's your question this week?
My question, I had one today. Let's go. Something random. What is your favorite grill out, like barbecue party side dish?
Oh, we're doing side dishes again this week.
Yeah. But at a grill out.
Grill out.
You side dish.
Yeah.
Big old piece of sweet corn. Corn on the cob every time. It's good. It's tasty. It doesn't feel like gross when you eat it. It doesn't weigh you down.
It's a lot of water.
Yep. And it doesn't need, if it's good corn, it doesn't need to be slathered in butter and salt.
Right.
True.
And that's what I want. I don't need like, oh, this has no flavor. Let's just throw as much butter and salt on it as possible.
Yeah.
I want to just be able to eat it in its most pure form. So yeah, a big old ear of sweet corn at the barbecue.
I like it.
Mine would have to be, this is going to be kind of weird, but it's pretty specific. Asparagus, lemon, pepper, garlic, salt, oil, but then you like cook it in so that the heads of the asparagus are crunchy. That's my favorite.
I have become an asparagus person as an adult. And I actually love it.
Love asparagus.
Yeah.
Lemon, pepper, garlic, salt is like our go-to
seasoning
for a lot of things.
That sounds
so
good. That sounds really good.
It is very good.
Dan, what's your favorite side?
Potato salad.
See, I don't do that.
Yeah. I love it. I love potatoes. I love me some good potato salad.
I know a lot. I mean, that's a staple, right? People do love it. It is not my thing, but I respect those who eat it. Potato salad.
Yeah. Potato salad.
All right.
What's your question, John? Hey,
favorite
I picked a non-food question.
Oh, it's got to be non-food. Oh, you did.
No.
Like,
I'm just saying. I picked a non-food
because
question.
I went with a food question.
I was gonna go non-food, but I couldn't do it.
That's okay.
What is your favorite international cuisine?
Ooh.
I got mine.
Go for it.
Mexican food.
That's fair.
That's my man right there.
I love me some good Mexican food, and not this like Minnesotan Midwest Mexican Mexico food. I want some kick. I want some flavor. I want it to be so good I can't stop eating it, but my mouth is on fire.
Well, when you come to visit, we don't have one. We've got two authentic Mexican. And one is like 5 minutes from our house.
Nice.
I love it.
Nice.
Actually, both of them are 5 minutes from our house in either direction. Fantastic Mexican food.
We love Mexican food.
Yeah.
It's good stuff.
It is so good.
Yeah. What do you got, Cora?
I don't know. I have two. Greek food and Indian food.
Not Italian Alfredo sauce.
I just like your Alfredo sauce.
That's fair.
Ever since Lila, that's what I craved when I was pregnant, and I haven't stopped loving it. There's this place called Spitz. It's a chain restaurant, but it is so freaking good.
It's like Mediterranean.
Mediterranean, so good. I love a good gyro. Oh, so good. And then I love the herbaceousness of it. The best. And then Indian food, because I also love Indian food and I can't decide which one I like better.
He's talking about the art. Q made it to the show tonight, and he's talking about art, the melting clocks.
Oh, the melting clock. Yeah.
I like it. That is a good one.
Really
that
cool.
is a good one.
Dee loves Greek. We have a Greek festival in June. She goes over every year to get her fill of Greek food and brings it home.
So good.
She's a big fan of spanakopita.
Yes.
I am not a fan.
That's fair. Dan can go without, but he puts up with it because I love it so much.
Well, I would have said Mexican, but since Dan already took Mexican and I don't want to repeat, my new favorite, it's really seriously, like I didn't eat this when I was a kid, Chinese food. But
yes.
But it's got, well, I don't know if Asian, let's say Asian. Let's just go Asian.
Okay.
We have a hibachi place here.
So
we
good.
Go to probably like once a month.
That's fair. Oh man, I might have to add that to my list now too. And I love Asian food. And
when they're making it fresh in front of you like that, when I was introduced to it, I was going to the buffet thing. My friends were like, let's go to the Chinese buffet. It's like, oh, really? Okay. I went and I tried some of it. It's like, this is okay. And my one boss said, let's go for lunch today. Let's go for Chinese. And I was like, okay. I go to the buffet. He stops me. He says, where are you going? I said, to the buffet. He said, come with me. they had hibachi set up at like the buffet. He said, "Tell them what you want," and you're picking out all this stuff, and they make it fresh for you. And when you get back to the table, and that's fresh made off the hibachi, it's mind blowing. Like
Fair.
scallops,
Ooh,
I
yeah.
usually get scallops, big old scallops, sea scallops with the fried rice and the veggies, and it's just amazing. So if I'm gonna pick
Good too.
a non-Mexican favorite, it's gonna be Asian food.
We're gonna make some pho tomorrow.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know what I'm gonna do tomorrow. Tomorrow I take my turn around the sun.
Oh,
Oh, yay.
So my girls are gonna call me and we're gonna have an online party.
yay!
Yay.
So
Happy birthday.
thank you. I don't feel as old as I am, which is
Well,
good.
we get that. We understand that fully. Well, I think
Like,
we're
I
at the
never want to.
where it's like our mentality and the way our mental state is much younger than what our body is.
Yep. I always say you may have to grow older, but growing up is optional, and that's
Yeah.
how I'm gonna live my life.
Yes,
Yep.
So,
I agree with that
100%.
wholeheartedly.
so I'm always gonna be a big kid. All right, the dog is here. He's been hanging out the whole time. He's been really good. He's probably gonna need to go out in like a minute.
We had 3 questions and we did an hour.
We did. And
I-
2 of them were food based.
And that we did really well tonight. I think our new format's gonna work very, very well.
I
When
do too.
Dana's here full time
Yep.
for a show,
Yep.
Yeah.
but I think the new format's gonna work.
I
It's
think
not
it's perfect.
new, but yeah, it'll help us to get to the fun part of the show, which is
Yeah.
always the question.
Which is always the food.
Yes.
I'm gonna try like heck next week not to have a food question.
I'm not.
I'm
not
gonna
gonna
try
try.
my hardest to come up with something that's not food related.
The
I
thing
think I
that'll
can do
be
it.
funny is how many questions can we come up with that are food? How many different questions can we come up with that is food? That will be the kicker because eventually you're going to run out of food questions.
Oh, you never run out of food questions.
I agree with John. You never run out of food questions.
There's
What
always
is
something to
your
eat.
advice?
There's always something to eat.
Yep.
All right.
Well, this was
All right.
fun. I hope it's fun again next week. It would be
Yeah,
nice to win 2 in a row. Are you ready to take us out?
yeah.
Yes.
Take us out. Thank you, everybody.
Skull. Skull.